The life of Audie Murphy, America's most decorated soldier of World War II, was a haunting paradox. More than just a hero who emerged from the fierce battlefield he embodied, buried secrets, hidden inner struggles, and persistent personal pain that few knew. Behind the shining medals was a shattered soul wrestling with the ghosts of the past and the harsh realities of fame. This is the story of a man who won the war on the battlefield but lost the battle with himself. The haunting legacy of war. Audie Murphy, a name that once shone brightly on Hollywood's silver screen, was more than an actor. He was a true legend. After returning from World War II as the most decorated soldier in U.S. history, he quickly conquered the big screen. Murphy became a familiar face in numerous Western films, embodying heroic and courageous characters true to his own nature. The pinnacle of his film career was starring in To Hell and Back, 1955, a movie adaptation of his own best-selling autobiography. In this work, Audie Murphy authentically recreated his harrowing combat experiences, solidifying his status not just as a star, but as a symbol of bravery and patriotism in the hearts of audiences. But do you know about his journey before he became a star? It was a frightening journey that surely even just hearing about it would make you afraid to recall. Before Hollywood's lights illuminated Audie Murphy's name, his life was already shadowed by poverty and tragedy from early childhood. Born in 1925 into a poor sharecropper family in Farmersville, Texas, Audie was the seventh of 12 children, and only 9 survived the harsh childhood. His early life was a long string of deprivations, not just material, but also in terms of family stability. His father abandoned the family when Audie was very young, leaving the burden of making a living and caring for the young children to his ailing mother alone. Audie grew up often hungry, having to drop out of school in the 5th grade to work odd jobs from picking cotton to washing cars just to earn food for his younger siblings. His life was a continuous struggle against poverty and despair. In 1941, when his mother passed away, Audie, as the eldest son, faced a fateful decision to find a way to support his 6 remaining siblings, including an infant just over a year old. It was in this desperate situation, at age 17, with a thin physique, weighing just over 110 pounds, 50 kilos, and a modest height of 5 feet 5 inches, 165, that Audie decided to lie about his age to enlist in the U.S. Army in June 1942. This was not only a reckless act to escape poverty, but also a turning point that led him to become a legend, yet also opened the door to a terrifying period that would shape the rest of his life. It was on the fierce battlefields of World War II that Audie Murphy transformed from a farm boy into an icon. He participated in grueling campaigns from North Africa, Sicily, Italy, France, and Germany, achieving countless incredibly heroic feats. In 3 years of combat, Audie rose from private to first lieutenant, was wounded 3 times, and received 27 medals and military awards, including the Medal of Honor, the highest award for extraordinary valor in the U.S. military. One of his most famous actions occurred on January 26, 1945, when he single-handedly held off an attacking German infantry battalion from atop a burning tank using its machine gun, while simultaneously directing artillery fire by telephone. However, the price for such dazzling glory was an invisible wound deeply embedded in his soul. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Though hailed as a hero, Audie returned home with terrifying nightmares. Images of war haunted him every night, causing chronic insomnia and making him struggle with sudden outbursts of violence. His ex-wife, Wanda Hendricks, recounted that Audie often slept with a loaded pistol under his pillow, and once even nearly strangled her during a nightmare. His personality changed dramatically. From a disciplined soldier, he became extremely anxious, easily irritable, and often felt persecuted. Loud noises, crowds, or even a passing car could trigger fear or angry reactions. To try to treat these invisible emotional wounds, He turned to sleeping pills, particularly Placidel, and quickly fell into a prolonged addiction. The medication helped him sleep for a few hours, but also made him increasingly dependent and exacerbated his psychological issues. The pressure on Audie was further compounded by the survivor's guilt. He was haunted by the deaths of comrades who fell beside him, constantly tormented by the question of why he survived while they did not. This pain, along with public and media pressure demanding that he always be the perfect hero, prevented him from revealing his true vulnerabilities. He had to play the role of an icon, hiding a shattered inner self. The war hero became a glamorous facade inside which was a soul endlessly battling the ghosts of the past, a battle that glory could never fully compensate for. Secrets always hidden in suffering. After returning from the battlefield as the most celebrated hero, Audie Murphy stepped onto an entirely different battlefield, Hollywood. With his handsome looks, gentle smile, and extraordinary life story, he quickly became a star, a familiar face on the big screen. Murphy appeared in over 40 films, primarily westerns and war movies, where he often portrayed heroic, courageous characters true to his real self. The pinnacle of his film career was starring in To Hell and Back, 1955, a movie adaptation of Audie's own best-selling autobiography. In this work, he authentically recreated his harrowing combat experiences from fierce battles to extreme fear. The film was a resounding commercial success, grossing millions of dollars and firmly cementing his image as an American war hero in the public's heart. With this role, Audie Murphy was not just a film star, but a living symbol of courage and patriotism admired by millions of Americans. However, Hollywood's glamour quickly became an invisible shackle for Audie. Despite his success, he was typecast in soldier or cowboy roles. Filmmakers didn't see him as capable of diverse acting. They only wanted to exploit his real-life hero story and rugged appearance. He continuously received similar roles, preventing his acting talent from developing in depth. The pressures from the entertainment industry, demanding work schedules, and the expectation to always maintain the perfect hero image wore him down both physically and mentally. He longed to escape his own shadow, wanting to try more challenging roles, but there seemed to be no way out. His film career, though, bringing fame and money, ultimately became a gilded cage, imprisoning a man who wanted to be himself. Audie's personal tragedy didn't stop at his career. His romantic life was also full of turmoil and brokenness. He went through 2 marriages. His first marriage to the young and beautiful actress Wanda Hendricks in 1949 ended after just a year and a half. This relationship was fraught with tension and violence, largely due to Audie's uncontrollable outbursts of anger, a direct consequence of the severe PTSD he was struggling with. Wanda later shared about her fear and sleepless nights living with Audie, who frequently had nightmares and exhibited erratic behavior. After divorcing Wanda, he married airline attendant Pamela Archer in 1951. This marriage lasted longer, and they had 2 sons, Terry Michael and James Shannon. However, family happiness was also incomplete. PTSD continued to rage in Audie's life, making him a challenging husband and father. His bouts of depression, angry explosions, and emotional distance created deep fractures. Pamela tried her best to support her husband, but the pressure of living with a man haunted by war, combined with the pressures of fame, pushed the marriage to the brink. Despite loving his family, his internal wounds prevented Audie from maintaining a stable and happy marital life like most ordinary people. Not only that, but financial problems also became a huge burden, contributing to pushing Audie into despair in his later years. Despite earning millions of dollars from his film career, he lacked severe experience in managing assets and made poor business decisions. He invested in risky and unprofitable ventures and was quite lavish in his spending. His trusting and generous nature made him easily exploited by those around him who only sought to profit from his fame. Many close to him took advantage of his kindness, drawing him into failed business dealings or simply borrowing money and never repaying it. Ultimately, mounting debts pushed Audie Murphy to the brink of bankruptcy and into severe financial hardship in his later years. He even had to sell off assets, including some of his prestigious medals, to cover his debts. The glittering lights of Hollywood could not hide a harsh reality. A hero who fought bravely for his country could not find peace and stability in his own personal and financial life. Audie Murphy's unforeseen hidden depths. Hidden beneath the glamorous facade of a screen hero and legendary veteran Audie Murphy was a man with secrets and inner complexities that few truly understood. These aspects stood in stark contrast to the brave, unyielding image the public typically saw. One of the most surprising things about Audie was his hidden passion for poetry and songwriting. Besides writing his famous autobiography, To Hell and Back, Audie was also an amateur poet and musician. He wrote lyrics for several popular country songs, including Shutters and Boards and When the Wind Blows in Chicago, which were performed by artists like Dean Martin and Porter Wagoner. This was an incredibly sensitive side, revealing a multifaceted soul constantly seeking release and peace through art. His poems and lyrics were a place where he could unburden himself from the weight of war fame and the PTSD that tormented him. It was an effort to find peace, a way to escape a harsh reality he couldn't find in daily life. However, few beyond his closest confidants knew this aspect of him, often leaving him feeling isolated and like he didn't belong anywhere, even within his own family. Audie Murphy's personality was a complex mix of extraordinary courage and deep-seated fragility. On the outside, he was a symbol of strength and willpower, but internally he constantly battled uncontrollable anger and persistent insecurity. His loved ones recounted that even a minor incident could trigger Audie's rage, making him aggressive and out of control. He constantly had to fight to maintain sobriety and restrain himself, a silent and ongoing battle. Audie once confided in friends that he felt like a man trapped between past and present, unable to escape the image of a soldier at war, yet also unable to fully integrate into normal life. He carried an immense psychological burden, constantly feeling insecure and distrustful of everyone, including himself. These secrets paint a more complete, more complex portrait of Audie Murphy, not just a hero, but a flesh-and-blood human, with pains, weaknesses, and quiet efforts to find meaning in his life. They show that despite being honored and praised, he still had to face the deepest scars left by war on his own. The tragic death of Audie Murphy. Audie Murphy's life, filled with glory, tragedy, and relentless struggles, ended tragically on May 28, 1971. He died in a plane crash when the private plane carrying him and 5 others crashed into the side of a mountain near Catawba, Virginia, due to bad weather conditions. He was on his way to survey a site for a new business venture. This sudden death brought an end to a turbulent journey, leaving behind regret and many unanswered questions about the fate of a hero. Audie Murphy's legacy is incredibly complex and multifaceted. He is remembered as one of the greatest soldiers in American history, a symbol of courage and patriotism who earned a host of the highest honors. His film career also etched his heroic image into the minds of millions of viewers. However, Audie's life also serves as a painful reminder of the invisible cost of war on the human psyche. His story helped raise awareness of post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) in veterans, an issue that in his era was poorly understood and often overlooked. Audie's pain and struggles became living proof of what war can leave in a soldier's soul long after the guns have fallen silent. Furthermore, Audie Murphy's life exposed the raw truth about the downside of fame and public pressure. He is a testament to the fact that glamour doesn't always bring happiness, and celebrity can sometimes be an enormous burden. He had to face unrealistic expectations, exploitation from those around him, and a constant battle to find peace in a world that always demanded he be the hero. Audie Murphy's story is a powerful testament that behind every heroic title is a flesh-and-blood human with pains, flaws, and hidden secrets. His life is a call for us to look deeper into the invisible burdens that heroes carry, to understand that true courage lies not only on the battlefield, but also in the continuous internal struggle. Has our society truly understood and empathized enough to support those who have sacrificed so much for their country? If you want to explore more inspiring and tragic stories about historical figures, don't forget to follow our channel so you don't miss our upcoming articles and in-depth analyses.